Welcome to Southern Ontario Car Culture. I'm your host, Steve. Beside me is my co-host, Leigh. How you doing, Leigh?
G'day, mate. I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, man. A little tired. We've been hustling.
Yeah, we have indeed. A lot of fun setting up this morning.
Yeah. It's been a busy day. We'll see if we make it. We'll survive.
We'll give it a good try.
All right. So, who do we got on the other side of the table?
Today we have Angela Fitt from Missfitt Racing.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Angela. How are
Welcome.
you?
I'm doing good.
Good to have you. So, you brought us a gift today.
I did.
What do we got?
So these are the latest edition Missfitt Racing koozies. Show them
have it on
off.
camera?
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
These look great.
You're
Thank
a better
you,
model
guys.
than I am. Thank you for that. I'm testing it out right now.
Yeah, I should be doing the same.
Yeah, you should.
I'm putting-
Yes. Yeah, I've got mine going on
I'm
here
running
too.
a Summersby cider. Pommer, sorry, that's the French pronunciation. Australian, not used to Canadian French here. Apple cider. Fantastic. It tastes great.
Yeah?
And the koozies are fantastic.
Is it your first time having that?
It's my first time having the cider, but I have to admit I already have a Missfitt Racing koozie from last year.
You don't have this one though.
I don't have this one though. New and improved.
New and improved.
The latest model.
The latest model.
Cool.
Well, thanks for coming on and joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited, guys.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
This should be fun. It will be fun.
Yeah.
We're not nervous.
Not at all.
Not even a little.
fine.
Here, let
Where?
me take a drink.
Well, let's dive into it. Let's
Sure.
let's talk about Missfitt Racing.
Well, so Missfitt Racing is just kind of transpired over the years. It was something I fought for a really long time. My last name is Fitt. And it started just when people answer the phone and they're like, "Hi, Miss Fitt," and I'm like, no, it's Angela. Dwayne, my partner for many years, caught on to that and he pushed. It should be Missfitt Racing. It should be Missfitt Racing. And finally, you know, I owned my first competitive race car, which was a 1980 Camaro, probably about 6 years ago. And I finally branded it. I badged the car, Missfitt Racing, and it kind of stuck after that. So
Did that car have a name?
it did not.
Okay.
No, it was just a silver 1980 Camaro. It didn't fit anywhere. I wasn't competitive enough to, race a points program anywhere yet. It was just for fun.
Yeah.
And hung out at St. Thomas and started from there. So one of the things that I was really interested in and was such a great group of racers was ONDR.
Okay.
And
Was that where the St. Thomas track is? That is
So ONDR races around Ontario.
Okay.
St. Thomas Dragway is our home track. We do race in Grand Bend and have in the past, not in the last couple of years, however, raced at Cayuga at TMP in Toronto.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ONDR, what does that stand for?
So that is the Ontario Nostalgia Drag Racers, a group of racers that originally, about 3 years ago, there was a pretty strict rule that your car had to be 1974 or older model year to be included in that group. So I really wanted to race with these guys, and so I went out and bought my first Vega, which was a 73.
That was a purple one, right?
That was the purple one. It started out as blue with massive loads of stickers. And, over the winter, I had done a complete body and paint and painted it purple. It's my favorite color, as you may tell.
Yep. The camera doesn't do it justice. but
Yeah.
That's the studio lighting.
Yeah. Dwayne painted that car. It was a really fantastic color. I started my first racing season with ONDR. It lasted a year, and I kind of blew it up for a $7,000 photo opportunity of a big, massive burnout.
Oh, dear.
We rebuilt it really quickly and entered the Turkey Nationals that year and did pretty well and ran a number that I was trying to race all year, which was 650. And then the end of that season, I found a super deal on a new Vega, a 72, which was completely stripped down. Nothing interior. It was scratch coat paint work on it or primer on it. And We built that during COVID in 5 months, and that's the car I have today, a white, plain white, nothing on it, a couple of Bear stickers to cover a inopportune burnout moment on my first pass, but that's all that's on it today.
And spoilers to my previous question, what's that one named?
So that is Cruella. Still trying to decide whether or not that was a good choice.
I love it.
She lives up to her name every moment of the day.
So I got introduced to Cruella about a year before I even met you. And for the audience, Angela and I are neighbors. Like we're
Really close
300
neighbors.
feet away from each other.
You had a long commute here.
I had a long commute. Yeah, sorry, Angela had a long commute here in my basement. And every Saturday morning after we moved in, or Friday afternoon, I can't remember which, I would hear this rumbling kind of engine noise. It was this massive V8, lumpy cam sounds. And it was just, I was like, oh, Tim the Toolman, oh. And but it wasn't until a year later that I actually met you, and it was.
You were just the guy that cut the side lawn.
Yeah,
running up and down. I'm like, God, that guy loves to cut grass.
You waved at me every time, and I was like, no, and I just hadn't got around to meeting many of the neighbors.
It's funny. You talk about how we met and whatnot. I remember your Camaro at the drag strip going Friday night test and tune just to hang out because my car has no business being on the racetrack, but. We come just to watch Friday night test and tunes, and that, what we call it, silver Camaro, making passes. At the time, we didn't know each other.
No.
And then, and then I started seeing the first Vega, and then I think shortly after Cruella became a thing, that's when we met, I believe.
Yeah, I decided, I think it was one winter or just even in the process, COVID, it kind of led to a lot of things that you ventured out on your own, and made a Facebook page. And that was Missfitt Racing. And it kind of just showed the progress of the build, and the page grew pretty good. I'll be honest, I'm not great at keeping it up, and I'm not out there looking for, 10,000 followers, although it'd be great. Join in. But yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
The link will be in the show notes.
Lots of interested people, and as am I, always interested in watching what other people are doing and what they're building, and kind of being a part of that. So,
Well, I think a big part of your popularity is your being so personal with people. It's a small area that we're in, right? Like.
With huge car culture.
Yeah.
The ratio is huge. Like it's the amount of car culture in our population in this general area is massive, right? Then you've got guys like I just saw Dan Bethune just posted something.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Oh yeah, super guy.
Yeah.
But just about his interaction and when I am looking at someone to maybe interview or just have interactions with, I want to know, is this person decent? And you can't find negativity about Missfitt Racing anywhere.
Well, that's great to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
I kind of one of the ongoing jokes is that Cruella is not a show car; she's a race car, and not sure how many people know about the mishap at the start of last season. But she kind of put herself in a massive wheelie and came down and hit the wall. It was all her, nothing about me. But it's been blemished for a year. But one of the things that I love doing is taking it to car shows or just being a reason to go there and meet different people.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of opportunity to do that when you're racing. It's especially a car of that caliber. It's a lot of work, and
because it's not road legal. It's a trailer only,
it's road legal down the road to the Crans and back, but that's about it.
Do you remember the 4-hour show at the high school?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I purposely came late to make an entrance, if I'm going to be completely honest.
It was awesome. That was awesome.
I mean, there's lots of street cars and hot rods out there that sound amazing. You know, with the nice weather the last couple of days, it's finally gotten here. There's been a few out and about, and you know, my head turns too. So it just kind of gets you right there.
And speaking of car shows, we had you out last year at the Odd Wheel car show in Elmer.
Absolutely. I wouldn't miss it.
Was that the one where we had the competition, the Rev competition?
It was. That's probably one of my best memorable moments with the car. It's even outside of the track. I mean, there's been some good ones, but we had a cackle fest at that show, and we were revving up for there's probably about 6 or 7 cars, I think, maybe a couple more. And I knew ahead of time, I was like, I'm not gonna, you know, play fair with this one. So I asked the crowd if, you know, there were any kids that wanted to come up and help me. So unbeknownst to me, that was one of our fellow club members' sons, Massimo.
He's still smiling now.
Yeah.
That's one of his greatest
So am I, by the way.
Yeah.
I had him come over and get in the car and just rev it continuously. So Dwayne actually drives. After probably 10 years of me racing, he finally got his own car. It's a 1970 El Camino. Hopefully it will be out this season. He's actually in the shop right now, still working on the motor and trying to get the front end put together and back on that for the race season that starts in a month this weekend, I believe.
Yeah. So that car has a name as well, right?
So the name of the car is Amigo Perdido, which in Mexican is lost friend.
Fitting.
Yes. He was near and dear to us in the racing community. I'll be honest, I didn't know him for a lot of years, probably 5 in total, but he just really became a close part of our community, and he was loved by everyone that he raced with. His name was Donnie Martin. And he passed away quite suddenly, the day after Christmas. So we're very proud to have his car. Dwayne did have it out for 1 year of racing. The first year, I think he had made, 3 or 4 passes, and then Cruella decided to annihilate for the second time her attempt at a alcohol injected motor. Right. So I said, no, you know what? That's fine. I've been racing for a good many years. It's your turn. Why don't you sit back and have fun? I had kind of done some math in my head, and I thought, you know, it's like $500 a weekend to race, or $60 a weekend for a case of beer. So maybe I'll just sit back and I'll drink like all the rest of the spectators for a change. And I made the mistake of mentioning that thought process to Dwayne, and came out on Sunday morning, and the cars were nose to nose, and he was pulling my motor, which he had put in the El Camino because I'd gone to alcohol injected. He was pulling that out of his car and putting it back in Cruella.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
So there's a picture I saw somewhere of the two of you on the track at the same time. Is that AI or is that real?
No, that is actually real. There's a fantastic photographer at St. Thomas Dragway that we're so lucky to have him there, because this is his life, his livelihood, his passion. He said, you know, the moment you guys go and line up together, make sure you let me know, because I want to go take a picture. And that he did. And still to this day, if you've seen the picture, if you haven't, check out my Facebook page and scroll through some photos. Depending on the angle that you're looking at that picture, you really can't tell who's winning.
So who did win?
I think I did. I think I won. Actually, I know I won at the top end. But with saying that, Dwayne was having some mechanical issues, so he says. With Cruella, we started with a 532 big block, which was also purchased from the same gentleman that I bought the car from. We had this bright idea that I would like to try an alcohol injection, which is very nostalgic. I think that was a 477. Built that over the winter. Took that to the dyno, Daryl's Dyno, who's a local friend of ours and very much involved in the car community. And I think they had a busload drop off at the front door to come in and watch the event. It was Yeah, highly anticipated, needless to say.
I can imagine.
And I think I got 4 pulls and it seized up on the dyno. So we took it home and rebuilt it again. And I had 2.5 passes at the track and it seized up again. So I got up one Sunday morning and Dwayne was putting the 532 back in Cruella. So now we have we've rebuilt that over that winter. It needed a freshening up, and so it's now a 568 big block Chevy, and has done pretty well, except for the first pass of last year. She tried to redeem herself. We'll see what it does in a couple of weeks, but
tell us about that weekend, because I remember seeing the photographs and the video on Facebook. It seemed very scary initially.
It wasn't at the time.
Yeah.
So historically, for any race car, I have always put wheelie bars on the car for the first pass of the year, because I've never driven the same car 2 years in a row. Either it's a different model altogether, or we've upgraded the motor, or something has changed. Yeah. So just as a security, I put them on.
And that's to prevent
the nose it's to prevent it because Vegas are a very short wheelbase, so they tend to do that. They're a wheelie car. They like kind of lift in the front end.
Yeah, and that's down to torque, not necessarily wind or profile.
Right,
a bit of both.
Yeah, a bit of both.
Yeah.
But again, I make that first pass, and because there's such a short wheelbase, it really upsets the car. So the rear tires end up lifting a little bit. And then I go back to the pit, and I'm like, Jesus, why did I do this again? Please take the wheelie bars off. And so that's what we do. I didn't realize that until I actually broke a wheelie bar on the purple Vega, because I'd never run it without. And I went out and made a pass, and it was a beautiful lift, and I carried it out like 150 feet, and I came back, and I was like a little kid in a candy store. I was so excited. Did you see that? And so I never put wheelie bars back on. We upgraded the motor, 568. Dwayne, all winter, he's like, we got to dig those wheelie bars out of the back corner and put them on the car. I'm like, I don't need no stinking wheelie bars. It's fine. The car's always behaved so well. And so I went out the first season. It was a track rental day, which is normally what we have for the first race of the year. And I don't know if they had just super glued the track or what happened, but I launched and the front end just ever so gently just rose, and it kept going and going and going. And I set it on the back bumper. Well, not even the bumper, but the rear quarter panels. It caved in the driver's side quarter panel, and at that moment, it sent it directly to the wall.
Wow.
I came down, it went off the side of the wall. I drove it to the end of the track, and I'm like, I hear Dwayne in my ear. He's like, you should have put the wheelie bars on. Which was the most upsetting part. Like,
and did you say that, Dwayne?
No.
And I
There's a time and a place.
Yeah. I pulled off the track, off on the grass, after looking to make sure I wasn't. Normally, if you come out of a wheelie and it's violent, as a racer, you're told just don't let off the gas. So because it'll come crashing down, and you'll like break your transmission or your oil pan, you'll oil down the track, and then all your friends are no longer your friends because you just shut them out of racing for the next 2 hours. Right. But everything was fine. I kept driving to the end of the track, got out, took off all my gear, walked around to see what the damage was, and I'm like, it's really not that bad. Many people told me that day as I had it parked in the pit, so are you going to take it back out again? Well, I'm a pretty cautious racer that way, and I thought, I don't know if something unforeseen has happened. You could have cracked some of the suspension, or even the cage or anything. Yeah. It just wasn't worth taking that chance. So I think maybe 3 weeks later, Dwayne had it all hammered out and bonded up and repainted, except for one little patch on the front fender that I'm like, well, this is butt ugly, but I'll go with it. So I made up a QR code and attached, if you take a picture of the QR code on the side of the car, you will see a video, and the repair of that pass.
I actually remember after that happened, so like a lot of drag racers come into my work and they're like, "You hear about Angela?" So, yeah, who hasn't? It's a small town. But yeah, a couple guys that were racing that day all said that track was super sticky.
It was. I wasn't the only one that did that, and even though it was mostly, well, it was all cosmetic damage. There were a couple other racers that did worse damage by doing bigger wheelies, breaking transmissions and hitting their oil pans and stuff. But the track was never the same way after that day.
So you guys are home track St. Thomas.
Yes.
Would you say you spend most of your time at St. Thomas?
Absolutely, yeah,
So
definitely.
that track is got some history behind it.
Yes, it does. It's the longest continuous running track in Canada. Opened in 1962.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's I think it's the only one in Ontario that's been a racetrack since day one too.
It has,
Yeah.
purpose-built,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, it's pretty cool history. There's some ties with the gear jammers and all that stuff there. Would you say, so that track has had its heyday, obviously. We've all seen it.
This has some pretty good big racers there.
They've had some-
Shirley Muldowney was there. John Force was there.
I
Angela
was-
Fitt raced there. Even Dwayne Fuller.
Now they're making improvements to bring it back. What do you guys feel about the track? Like, do you see glory days coming back, or what do you think?
It's really difficult to say. They try hard, they really do, but racing is an incredibly expensive sport. Just to keep your, not just your drag car, but, your facilities, so your motorhome or your toter and your trailer and everything up to speed. Fuel costs are insane, as everybody knows. And then, you have the cost of getting in. So like I said, it's not much for me. I'm not a super competitive racer. I don't race high-end races. ONDR is probably the least expensive group to race. I don't have trouble dropping $1,000 a weekend to go to the racetrack. So if you got to have the trade-off between, your adrenaline and the fun and everything that you do. But I really think it's going to depend on, can people afford to do this? It's not whether the track themselves, they do a lot to get themselves out there to the community, and they try to make improvements. St. Thomas does have a points program that is open to any age of car. They even have a sportsman class, I think, that is for like street cars. There's a lot of all-wheel drive vehicles that enter that one.
Okay.
You can buy a pretty inexpensive race car, put a pretty inexpensive motor. You don't have to be a fast car to be a bracket racer.
Right.
And that's kind of like, all of our thing is that it used to be that drag racing was he who can spend the most money wins.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where bracket racing leveled the playing field, is that you can have a $500 car that runs 12 seconds. We don't really like those cars because it's hard to wait at the starting line for 7 seconds before your green light comes down. So
that's kind of what the nostalgia racing is all about, like old English cars that were very small. And, these guys are stretching them and putting V8s in them. And, so the nostalgia...
Like the Lotus 7s and the Caterhams, or even MGs.
The Anglias.
Yeah.
Datsuns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, Dwayne, do you think we'll have your El Camino out this year?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
At some point.
That's the plan.
If he quits giving away the motor, it'd be all right.
Well, now I have an abundance of motors.
Okay.
I actually just bought another block at our machinist, so now I'm going to have 3 motors, so I should be good.
Awesome. I look forward to seeing a ute.
Including that original 532 that was in the Vega.
Right.
I just
Well, because
bought-
you've swapped that back out for another one now.
So
No,
I
it's-
used the block from that motor.
Oh, okay.
And I upgraded it to like 568 internal. So
Got it.
we bored it out and had it all cleaned up and
New crank,
put in
new rods,
new crank,
new
new rods, new
pistons.
pistons. Everything on the inside is new.
Got it.
New heads too. I bought new heads and and a new intake. It just kind of snowballed. It was
So when you guys get through your race day, what's the typical shut down time for the racing?
I don't think we can talk about that on air.
Okay.
Well, it depends on if we've gotten through an entire day with no breakage, so nobody oils down the track, which generally takes an hour and a half to clean up at any given time. And dependent on how many groups are racing. So ONDR doesn't tend to race alone. We'll run alongside the St. Thomas Points group. We have also the Can-Am Superstock group that'll race in the same weekend. And then there's special weekends set up where different event coordinators come in and they'll run a weekend. There's a couple of those this year too. So
Nice.
Generally, I would say 5 or 6 o'clock is usually kind of when we finish racing. And sometimes they'll do they'll have golf cart racing or scooter racing, or someone will come up with some.
So, as a female in racing, do you find that anything is different, harder, or is it just a level playing field?
The women are they're contenders. I would say ONDR has one of the largest concentration of women racers, and they're all good.
Mm-hmm.
We're not any different than any of the men that are racing. I don't think there's a difference today like there used to be years ago. But
Do you think, as a racing as a whole, let's talk just drag racing as a whole. Now, I have lately been meeting a lot of really talented female racers. Now it's just, it's just another racer. Like you say, back in could we say the 70s?
I mean, that's why Shirley Muldowney was so popular, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because she
Wasn't she the first to get her top fuel license?
She was, and actually I think she might have made her passes for that at St. Thomas Dragway, if I'm not mistaken. But there's some history there with her at St. Thomas for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So, with the female racing, like, I don't know, like I could be wrong, but from what I'm seeing is they're dominating, right? Like the girls are very talented. So this might be a little biased, but do you think, they always say,
do you have a chance of competing? Is that what you're asking?
No. They always say women mature quicker than men. Do you think it's something like that in drag racing? Do you guys have an edge?
And I'm going to say I don't think I'm included in that mix, but
I think they're better at multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like when things change or go wrong on the starting line, they can deal with it better, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
I think, I would get rattled.
Right.
But yeah, it's nice to see times are changing. It's nice to see that in my opinion, it's an equal playing field. I love having conversations with men or women about what they built and how they did it.
Yeah.
The vision they had in their head turned it into something cool, and it's one of my favorite things, actually.
Yeah.
it's the people that I meet along the way that have really kept me in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of forgoes the amount of money that I fork out to do this every year, but it's, the people that I get to spend the summer with, and you guys that, are part of the car club, and that really.
So what's next for Missfitt Racing?
Well, I just want to get through another season unscathed. Go out and make my runs and not have any issues with the car, and hopefully have Dwayne get out in the El Camino this year and have some fun alongside of us, and maybe not have 40-degree weather for most of the season like we're expecting. But
Yeah. And when's the first race of the season?
our first official race is May 24 in Grand Bend.
Yep.
We have a couple of test weekends before that in St. Thomas that we may or may not attend. My car is still in the trailer.
So if somebody wants to track you down, how are we going to find you?
Well, the best place is Missfitt Racing on Facebook. Or you can find me on any given weekend that ONDR is racing at St. Thomas. We're usually in the backfield where it's quiet after racing, and then we join the party up front.
Well, thanks for coming and being our first guest.
Well, thanks for having me. It was so much fun.